So, Jesse Cole. I'm here with EP Brad.
Hello.
DP Seth. I'm Graham. I had no idea who this guy was when he was first thrown out to us. I think what he does, despite the fact that it rated very poorly for us on all platforms, is nothing short of remarkable. He is an enormous success, completely on his own terms, has built this ridiculously successful business, and it's only starting.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think when I said this on the shoot, I think you laughed at me, Graham. We've profiled a lot of very successful people on the show that have started businesses. And I think the people that have started businesses, you kind of see what they're going for, the framework for how they could be successful. To me, Jesse Cole is one of the most crazy success stories because baseball is so rooted in tradition and history, and there's a lot of people out there who, when you try to change baseball, they hate it. Like, they will attack you. And so for him to go in and try to basically turn baseball on its head, and it has worked, to me is just mind-boggling. Like, I would have thought no chance at this working, and he's made it work.
Well, and just to give this context, this is what used to be this little minor league team or ballpark, and now they're selling out Major League Baseball stadiums, and I believe in NFL
a couple NFL stadiums.
NFL stadiums
yeah.
this coming year.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, I underestimated it because I would see little clips on Instagram and stuff.
But you probably, like me, thought it was stupid.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? They're dancing baseball players. And then I find out we're featuring this guy, and I'm like, okay. And then we go to the first thing we shot was Fenway, and there was 30,000, however many people.
Sold out.
Yeah, sold out. And then not only is it just for the 3 hours of a game, it's like the whole day. All of the whole area surrounding Fenway is just packed with fans.
And we're talking about
they keep
shoulder
them
to shoulder. The
they
streets outside were shoulder to shoulder.
And they keep them entertained for 6 hours. And it just, there's no let up. It's constant.
So I think that was the single thing that was most impressive to me. From the moment you get out of your car and you're walking towards the stadium, it starts. Mm-hmm. And there's not a moment during the entirety of your time at the venue that is not filled with entertainment.
Yeah, I remember both at Fenway and in Savannah, because we went to games in both. I guess, Graham, you only went to the game in Savannah, but, you finally get to when the game's about to start, and that was the point where it felt like, all right, we're done for the day, right? Because there was already so much entertainment, just nonstop, whiplash, this way, that way. They're like, all right, we're done. It's like, oh no, we still have a whole baseball game left.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes for sure where we shot. The first thing we shot again was them playing at Fenway, and we had 3 cameras shooting the whole time, to where we had so much footage. It was just like, we haven't even shot the interview yet. We don't even know what the episode is yet.
Yeah. We overshot for sure.
We overshot it. We overshot the hell out of it. But 1,000 people saw it, so it was worth it.
So it was worth it, yeah. We got some pretty amazing looking B-roll shots though, you did anyway.
Yeah, the footage, I loved the footage I got, for sure. Having free range to run around Fenway Park. They were just yeah, do whatever you want.
Wasn't there some moment that you wound up on the field that you thought was insane?
That was, so me and Carlos
That was Carlos,
got
I
that
think.
moment.
Yeah.
It was, we were following Jesse around, because we were just trying to stay with him. At one point we lost him. The whole point was we told Jesse ahead of time, we're going to try to follow you every step of the way. And at one point he had to go into a meeting, didn't allow us to go. So we were trying to figure out where he would pop up next. Of course, I find out that, we're looking for him. He's been outside entertaining the fans for the last 10 minutes. I'm like, Jesse. So we go out there, we find him. He's in a bright yellow tux, so thankfully it's pretty easy to find him. We were in the stadium, we had to go outside. And then he's running around talking to fans, you're trying to keep up. I'm right behind Carlos and trying to clear the way. And eventually it's time for him to go into the stadium because the game's about to start. He's done entertaining fans outside. He's now has to go inside to entertain everybody. And so we're walking through, I don't know Fenway, it's the first time I've been there. I'm trying to clear the path for Carlos. Jesse's saying hi along the way. we're inside, we're in the concourse now, and we go through a fence, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get stopped by security or not. I'm like, just keep going. And so we're following Jesse, we're kind of going down this tunnel. All this is happening fast, right? So I don't know where I'm at. I just know we're about to go onto the fields. For all I know, it's out of, a left field or third base, whatever. We go out of the drapes or whatever that's blocking the tunnel, and we're just in center field of Fenway. And it was just like this moment of like, wait, I need to look around and like take this in for a second.
Right.
And I don't know if Carlos felt that same way, but because he was trying to actually operate the camera. But just for me, not operating the camera, I was able to take a second to take it all in. And that is one of the most like bizarre random moments of just like, I think I've ever had on a shoot.
Wait, so what about that touches you?
Yeah.
You can see the tear in my eye?
Even, yeah.
Actually, you could tell when you're telling the story
it was cool.
the emotion of that moment.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
few
it's just
people
a
get
weird-
to experience walking through center field of a completely packed Fenway
Yeah.
Park and just being like, even though they're not, it feels like everybody's looking at you. Like it's a weird.
Well, I mean, because we were right behind. I mean, I don't know what's all happening at that point on other parts of the field, but theoretically, when Jesse enters, that's capturing some amount of attention of people looking that way. And so we're right behind Jesse. So theoretically, we're being watched as well. And what's funny is I don't know if we were supposed to actually be there because there were a lot of cameras that were waiting for us by first base that were capturing Jesse walk onto the field. And I have a feeling that if we had asked to follow Jesse onto the field, we would have gotten a no. But because we were just trying to follow him, there we were.
I think my favorite moment from the shoot was actually at the end of the game after everybody left when we were in Savannah and just following Jesse as he's talking to his team members, reviewing what did and didn't work.
Stuff, it was a disaster. I gave that a C-.
I think it could hit if, I don't know how you set it up more with like the putting it in. I liked the ending. The ending of it was good to me. The actual pops.
So there's one average button.
Yes, no, we agree.
There was a point where you're thinking to yourself, okay, we got enough. And I was literally just enjoying kind of being a fly on the wall, listening to what they do.
Well, it's a tough episode to shoot because, like I said, we shot Fenway first, and then we shot the interview, and then we shot another game. And the whole time, I feel like I'm overshooting, but also like there's so many incredible moments happening all around you. So I'm constantly shooting and getting, like if you're a cam op at a Savannah Bananas game, the crowd is going to give you gold because they're all so stoked to be there. You point a camera at them, they're going to perform. They have like, what do they call the cheerleader guys?
Bananas?
Yeah, something like that. Banana. Like they're constantly performing at the camera. So you're constantly like, you always feel like you should be shooting. And then all of a sudden the game is finally over and, in our mind, like, okay, the event's over, we're done. And then it's like, oh, now they're going to talk about everything. And it was just like, what are we doing? Like, we have so much. And yeah, it was great. And we used a lot of that part. But it was just for watching that guy, it was very obvious from the second we got to Fenway that it was not going to be easy to follow Jesse Cole.
Yeah.
Like, we get there, they're like, hey, it's that guy in the yellow suit. You're like, cool, this should be easy. You get over to him, and he's running off. And then he's just gone. And you're like, okay. I remember we had a freelancer, and her whole job, I told her during the game, was just follow Jesse. Like, you have a long lens. Your whole job is to shoot Jesse when you can. And yeah, I mean, the dude's just does not stop. And then and he's hyped about everything. The pre-parade, he pays attention to every single possible thing. And then at the end of the game, it's I don't even know how he can remember everything that happened. And not only is he remembering it,
I think he had a note card.
And he's not one of those guys who's like, this didn't work, you need to figure it out. He's like, this doesn't work, here's 10 ideas what could possibly make it better. It's just, he's a machine.
All right, 11-run inning. Whenever there's a long inning, have energy things that we can do. So there's probably some other things other than just Shark, play some energy, sing along songs.
Yeah.
Like, what's another list of ideas we can do at bucket session? Hey, what are things that we can do to get ideas? Is there other giveaways? Is there other things with the players coming into the crowd and just doing a random high-fiving or like hey, let's energy time. Energy number 1, go. Energy 2, energy 3. And we have a bucket to pull from.
What did we think? One of his ideas, the one we included in the show, was they were trying to figure out whether they could have a person, like a kiss cam or whatever, but it ends up they're blindfolded and they end up kissing a dog.
That was funny. The guy's like, ew.
What about a blindfolded and the kiss and there's a kissing a dog? Ew. Well, no.
No, that's funny. That is funny.
Kissing a dog. No, is there? Well, is there a blindfolded? Is there blindfolded kiss off, and they have to kiss something ridiculous?
Ridiculous.
And so the fans are getting like watching like oh, and then like you have to do it. I don't know. There's
Y'all are gross.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they've incorporated that at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Anything else we should be talking about involving him?
His wife was great. All the team guys were good. Team guys. So.
I mean, it's such. I guess I'll speak quickly on that. For everybody with that team exudes the same amount of energy and kindness that Jesse has, and I think that clearly is something that they look for when they hire. Because I don't know how you could, if you're not positive or energetic, you would get so worn out for being there.
You can't be a grump and do that for a living.
Yeah.
You have to be somebody who loves to entertain. Yeah.
So everybody there was like, for an entire team to be that friendly, feels like probably a rarity. Mm-hmm. So we were fortunate to tag along.
And they all seem to have the same kind of like concept of it, of like knowing about it before actually doing it. And they were like, I'm not going to dance and play baseball. And then now they all
love
do
it. Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten into the strength of Jesse and Emily's marriage, how they both came from nothing and built this thing, poor as can be, to start, how they have created a really successul charitable adoption organization, how they themselves have adopted, so much there. YouTube.com/Graham
Check it out.
Bensinger for everything. For Brad, Seth, I'm Graham. Goodbye.